All right, I want to welcome you guys to the first episode of the Ada Angle. We're really excited to have you join us today. I know that you guys are not ready for this one. We've got our first special guest of stake pool of dead stake pool. You guys, so you guys have probably seen that one around. So I want to go ahead and introduce. Well, first of all, my co-host and one half of the Ada Angle, a man who requires no introduction to the Cardano community, Chris Graffagnino. Go ahead, Chris, take it away.
Hello, how are you? It is evening in Nashville, Tennessee, and Amanda, you're just this is your breakfast in Korea, right?
Yeah, it's my AM. It's about 10 a.m. ish here.
Well, tell us about your pool. You are quickly becoming a celebrity in the community, I may say.
So I really didn't expect that at all. Um, and like my pool, I basically arrived in crypto space a couple months ago. Really didn't know anything about it. I was talking with my husband and my friend, and they were gonna do the stake pool thing. They were telling me about Cardano. I just kind of like nodded along, like, okay, I'll just Google that stuff later, you know. Um, but then something happened between what they decided to do and now, and they're like, I think that you could probably do this. And I'm like, are you serious? I don't have any knowledge of this. And they're like, it's okay, you got this, you know. So okay. So I just did a lot of research and kind of started talking to people and did it, you know. So that was kind of interesting. My journey is probably not the norm, but still fun nonetheless. And I love talking to people, and I love this community is so nice and helpful. Um, and then so that's kind of like what I want to do as well. I don't have some like big mission right now. I just right now I seem to enjoy kind of like bridging between like normal people and crypto people. Like I really enjoy doing that. And I've been talking to a lot of people that are less technical like me and bringing them into crypto space. So I think it's really interesting.
Nice,
That's
nice.
awesome. You know what? I don't think there is any traditional way into the crypto space. So,
Mhm.
that's awesome that you were just kind of inspired to do that. And I guess for me, just the question I want to know straight away, and I can imagine probably other people do. What
Mhm.
made you choose that name, Dead? I think that's cool.
Ah,
Deadpool. That's awesome. You know, it's like go
so
for it.
I've been asked the question on a lot of different talks, and it's really I just love play on words, and I'm a huge like Marvel fan. And when I had originally chosen a different name, because it's the same name as my LLC, because I have like other little businesses too. Um, but it really doesn't have any sort of meaning. It was just meaningful to me. So when I was going through and kind of getting to know people in the community and realizing that people's tickers and their names are important to their pool and marketing and everything. I realized that there wasn't a Deadpool when I was just going through like X pool, X pool, X pool, and then it kind of clicked with me like there's no Deadpool, and I just kind of love it. I love the play on
Yeah.
words, and I love just that kind of wordplay. And so even though I've gotten some feedback like, oh, it's like kind of like bad juju to name your pool dead. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to say the whole thing, like Deadpool.
Oh,
So it's
of
like,
course.
so
I,
it's,
I, that's exactly. I think that's probably what most people did when they picked out their pool. They went through different things, and what made sense to them, right? I mean, Chris, does that make
mhm,
sense to you?
Absolutely, and I appreciate the irony
right.
and the reference to Jerry.
Sure, sure. And then like, I also, I don't know, like I kind of think that I'm kind of that personality too. Like Deadpool is very sarcastic and um, kind of, I don't know, I have the same humor, same
Yeah.
dark humor. So it fit me. So I would say, like, I'm just gonna do it.
It catches the eye for
hmm
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And so tell us about the experience of getting your pool up and running. Do you have a technical background? Um, did
So
you?
definitely,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. I don't really have a super strong technical background, at least not as strong as others that I've met. My bachelor's is in biomedical engineering, and so it's definitely not computer science or like programming strong.
Sure.
But just, at least there's a little bit of exposure there. But I don't think that that's enough for me to like lean on all of this like Linux coding and stuff. So I did have
Sure.
to learn that the language a little bit. I have a cheat sheet, so like of the commands I should use. And I have
Sure.
made a lot of friends who help me like troubleshoot the configuration, which I didn't have to troubleshoot it. I was just looking at all different angles.
Yeah.
But did you guys watch how long I waited for my first block? Because it seemed like a lot of people waited and they were watching very
Right.
closely.
Hmm.
Mm.
And so I was very surprised on how like in tune everybody was just waiting for me because as the epochs kept rolling over and I wasn't getting a block, even with kind of an okay sized pool, they were so concerned and they kept checking in with me, asking me if everything was okay, asking me to run different troubleshooting commands. I mean, they were so nice.
Excellent. But Chris, I mean,
Mhm.
isn't that's what makes this Cardano community amazing? I
Mhm.
mean, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? Hey, what do you say, Chris?
I do. I think, I mean, to me, the most amazing thing about this community, for all the conflict that is in this world right now,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, and how, nations tend to, mine, me first.
Yeah.
Uh, this community is the exact opposite of that. And I love that,
Yeah.
so it's like we're building something together.
Yeah, exactly. And then I love being like super positive in the community. I mean, people probably think I'm like some Uber cheerleader or something, but I don't care. Like, I think that it's really hard right now as we're all kind of getting startup, and it's best to like support each other and
Yeah.
just like continue to cheer each other on and all that. That's totally my thing.
Yeah. I have watched you in the community, Amanda, and I thought, I'm not doing this enough. She knows what she's doing.
Mhm.
I mean, because that's, once you get the technical stuff right, uh,
Mhm.
then it really is about, letting people know that you're out there,
Yeah, sure.
and without, advertising. You're just, obviously Rick and Philippe have been amazing at that.
Hmm.
And to, people like you have shown me, just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I have conversations all the time with friends and clients, just trying to get more stake.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you know i I need to tell people, watch what Amanda's doing, you
Well,
know
thank you.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
what I enjoy doing, and it's less about like trying to take stake from others or anything like that, or marketing
Yeah.
per se. It's more about like I'm just trying to demonstrate to other SPOs or to other people who may want to delegate that I'm just here. Like I'm present, I'm involved, and I'm engaged. You can ask me anything. I'm completely open.
Right.
Um, so. I love my Telegram group as well. Like they're awesome, and I love just talking about Cardano or other things. Like they ask me things about Korea, they ask me like personal questions, and I'm totally fine with that. So part of the thing that I feel is important in any business, because my other businesses as well, is to like establish connections with people, and it kind of like just makes them relate to you and also support you because they're connecting with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And thank you for jumping and joining us at the Telegram channel at Ada Angle Show. Appreciate
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I just think you're a wonderful example too of the community. I mean, I know that you worked really hard to get to this point, and all of us are really just sort of pulling in the same direction, trying to
Hmm.
work as a community to support each other at the same time. No, I mean, nobody's trying to necessarily take stake. I think there's plenty of stake to go around.
Right.
It just takes time for that to be clearer to the people and the folks that are
Hmm.
out there. So
Yeah.
and and again, you're so open and awesome for joining us today on our first episode. So I
Yeah.
really
No, I
do.
love it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been talking to like other friends and actually on my block party, did you guys see my block party? On my block party, yeah, they there was one mention of like they don't like getting that the alert on Telegram with the broken heart. They said like it crushes their soul that day, and I'm like, you know what, guys, it's okay because like you say, there's enough stake to go around. It's just that you can't control how the delegators flow, and it's just you gotta just move on. Like say la vie, and somebody else is gonna come along, and it's gonna be okay, you know.
That's
That's
right.
right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know. You don't exactly. That's a great point, right? To say, well, I just I got one today or I lost one today. I mean, either
mhm,
way, right? It's trying to put something on something you don't have any knowledge about. Maybe
mhm.
somebody need to pay a bill. It wasn't even that serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be
And
anything.
like right now,
Right?
it's also pretty early where I think um, the general delegators don't really understand the system yet. I mean, we've only been up for like what a month or so. So they're still learning as well. So people who are changing pools and they don't know what that means, or this pool hasn't gotten any blocks and so they get frustrated, they move to another one. But I mean, it averages out, and so it's best just to kind of pick one and just stay there, but it's early, so give it some time, and definitely we'll have some more data later. But that's kind of what I explained to people on my Telegram channel as well.
That's a great point. Yeah, I just want to jump in on that. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's been a sort of a subject that's been hopping around different podcasts and such, where they're trying to point out to people that if you see a pool that has not necessarily gotten the amount that you would expect, you're right. It's a law of averages, and so
Hmm.
it's almost like leaving. It almost reminds me in some ways of a slot machine.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're running that same one, you just jump over. You see somebody won on that one, you don't necessarily want to jump on that one. You might want to stay on the one you've been pulling the whole time.
Hmm.
It's interesting, right? It's just a lot of
Yeah, or
averages.
the
Now that's
opposite, where you get frustrated with this machine and then the next person wins, you're like,
you go, yeah, how you get
yeah,
up, right? And that's
yeah,
who
yeah.
wins. That's right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, the funny thing is, when people switch pools, I don't think they always realize that it costs them
Mm,
a fee every time.
hmm.
yeah.
But then also, they won't know if they made the right decision for 15 days,
Hmm.
by the way the protocol works. Um, so
Right.
I always think, like, I wonder if the pool that, or the delegator that just left realizes that his next reward is coming from me when, maybe they think that it came from the new
Hmm.
pool.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think the simple answer is the majority does not. I think that
yeah,
they're still learning. Yeah.
that's right. And Amanda, what is your fee right now? What is your margin?
So my margin is 2%. And like
Very
right
good.
now we have a pretty decent size
Uh-huh.
pool. It's like around 8 million or so. And
Excellent.
today we got our fourth block. Super exciting.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I'm really excited.
Great, great. I look forward to seeing those numbers go up.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Everyone delegate to dead.
Yay.
All right, Amanda, have a great day.
Thank
And
you.
Jeffrey, too. And we will see you at the next episode of the Ada Angle.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.